Alright, so now we begin into the line command and learning how to draw lines in AutoCAD. This video is pretty quick and straightforward. It comes from chapter 3 of your text, and should be easy for you and allow you to start drawing some things of interest. First off, the line command. Very simple. Line exists between 2 points. So, a couple options. First off, you can go up and hit the line button as clearly shown up here. You can click on it with a left click, click a start point, click an end point, hit escape on your keyboard, and you've got a line. Do it again. Click, click, maybe another click, another one, and hit escape. You'll notice that the line command continues going until I hit the escape key on my keyboard. Same for you. Click, 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 click. Why don't you take a moment, pause this video, just hit the pause button, and open up your AutoCAD, draw some lines around, hit the line button right there, and play around with it. You can probably draw about 15 to 20 lines just real fast to kind of get the hang of it. So go ahead and do that now. Alright, assuming you got started there's another way to actually access the line command, and that is simply just to type L on your keyboard and hit enter. This automatically starts the line command, just the same as if you push the button. When the CAD systems began to come out in AutoCAD in version whatever it was, they typically had all the commands based off the keyboards. So instead of hitting these nice toolbars, they just hit buttons on the keyboard to begin things. Okay? So most of those commands are still there. For example, I hit L and enter again, and I can just restart the whole process. Some people like the toolbars, some people like the keyboard. Now, to be honest, the keyboard is going to be a little bit faster for you in terms of when you get into drawing for speed. So it's important for you to typically have your left hand on your keyboard where you can hit your escape key, the space bar, and various other little keys in the way. Your key ones that you probably use the most are the space bar and the escape key. And the L button will work oftentimes too. The reason I say the space key is because the space key doubles as an enter command. For example, when I hit L in space, it also begins the line command as well. So, pause the video, take a moment, and kind of get used to using your left hand to key in commands. Now, if you're left-handed and need to switch, that's cool, do whatever you need to. But you need to have one hand hovering over that keyboard, ready to activate commands and hit escape. So pause the video now and try it out. Alright, now let's talk about how to get rid of all this mess I've just created on the screen. Well, first off, if you just go toward an object and you left click on it, you see a couple things happen. First off, you see those little grips, and that's cool, and we'll talk about those later, but that lets you know that you have selected the object. Once you've selected it, just hit delete on your keyboard and it goes away. Another example, click, delete, click, delete, click, keyboard, delete, click, find on the keyboard and delete, click, and delete. Now, as you can see, this overall process is going to take me some time trying to locate each and every object, click, and delete. But that's okay, because we're all about taking our time and learning this right. So click and delete, click and delete. Take a moment, pause the video, and do the same thing. Clear your screen just by clicking on each line and hitting the delete key. Alright, so when you got that done, let's talk about a faster way to do it. Now, let's say I have gone through and just made all kinds of crazy lines all over the place, as you can see. Now, here's my problem. I need to get rid of these lines, and if I start going through and click and delete, it's going to take a while. And obviously, we don't want to do that. So, what do? We need to find a way to select all these lines at once. Let me show you how. If I take my cursor away from other objects, get it that way out here, and I click, and I kind of move my cursor, you see what starts to happen. A box is trailing the leading corner of where my cursor should be. Okay? And notice that this box has a green tint to it. Now, also notice that if I head to the right, my box kind of has a blue tint to it and doesn't have those dashed lines. What I have done by clicking off in space is begun the selection tool. Alright? And notice I have to be away from other objects before I use this. So a left click off in space activates selection. Left click off in space, selection begins. Left click off in space, selection begins. To terminate the selection, I just simply hit escape like everything else. Now, here's the reason that some is blue and some is green. When you click off in space and you move to the left, you form a green box, which means I will select everything that falls in it. So click off in space, move it over top some things, left click again, and it selected everything that I touched. Let me show you again. Click off in space, move my cursor over objects, left click again, everything selected I touched. However, a click off in space, move to the right creates the blue box, and the blue box will only select things that are completely enclosed by the blue. Notice that click, move to the right, I have quite a few lines touched by the box, but not fully enclosed, and therefore only the ones that are fully enclosed get selected. Let me demonstrate a little bit better there. I'll get in real close here. I'll touch all kinds of boxes, but only these two lines selected because only those two are enclosed. Now, most common usage is to go click off in space, left click off in space, and then left click on objects with a green box heading to the left and hitting delete. Works real easily. If I go with the click off in space, go to the right and click, it only selects a few of them, and I'll have to do it more times. But it's good if you want to be specific on your selections. So to get rid of all this, I'm just going to come out here, way over this way, left click in space, head to the left click again, and hit delete once they're selected. And in an instant, the area is clear. Now you'll notice that I'm bringing back those lines that I have deleted off for examples. Okay, let me show you how I'm doing that. If I delete some lines out and I made a mistake and I didn't want that to happen, notice the back arrow right here at the top of your screen. See that? That's the undo button. A simple click of it will undo your last command. You keep hitting the undo, it'll keep undoing previous commands. If you go too far, you can hit the redo and it'll do it back. So if you make a mistake, and you click something you didn't mean to, or deleted something you didn't mean to, or created something you didn't mean to, just go up and hit undo and it'll save the day. Okay? We're doing good so far. Now, speaking of saving the day, let's talk about saving. Alright, we learned how to do a save as. That's what created the name up at the top of the screen that you see here. But it's also important that you constantly save your work as you go, probably about every 3 to 5 minutes. Now, I can tell you many stories of students that have been working for hours, done all this work, forgot to save, power went off or the computer froze up, and they lost other work, especially with complex software like this. I've had many test situations where that's happened to students, and it is just about a psychotic episode because of it. So, be cautious. Once you've done a save as, and you have your name up here, the file's named correctly, just hit this little diskette right here. Just hit it. It's saved. It's updated everything you've done. The difference between a save and a save as is, a save as allows you to rename a file and move it around, whereas a save just does an update. And that's an important term to keep in mind. Save is an update, save as can create a copy and allow you to rename files. So, every 3 to 5 minutes, go hit the save button. Or you can hold down the control key on your keyboard and hit S. So, with all that information, why don't you pause the video and practice deleting with box selection instead of just doing a regular click and delete. Pause the video now and see what you come up with. Alright, assuming you got that handled, let's do some more little practice runs here. Now, so far you've learned to use the line command to create just random lines at random lengths, and you have had very little structure to what you're doing. Okay, so now we're going to gain a little structure. First off, the lines that are generated could be any length and any angle. And they could be any size too, because remember, AutoCAD's an infinite. First thing we have to keep in mind is we have the ability to zoom in and zoom out using that mouse roller on our mouse. Okay. Always get used to it. Actually, if you hold the little roller button down, it allows you to pan around. So roll towards, zooms in, rolls away, zooms out. So you need to be doing this a lot to kind of get the hang of it. Push down and hold, pans. Pretty neat little thing there. Also note that wherever your cursor is where it zooms to. You don't have to click, you don't have to do anything odd or anything like that. You just hold your cursor where you want it to zoom in and you roll toward. Now again, I'm not moving my mouse, I'm just rolling the little mouse ball at the top. So do a lot of zooming. Make sure you do a lot of that as we draw. In fact, you may even want to take a moment, pause the video, and practice a little rolling toward and rolling back and zooming in, zooming out. Okay, now let's talk about another little trick, and that is drawing lines to a specified length. First thing we'll do is make a box selection, delete all that off, and now I'm going to click on the line button, and instead of just coming out here and randomly clicking around, I'm going to draw the line button, click once to get a start point, and I'm going to head to the right, take my hand off the mouse, and just type in a value. We'll say 10. I type in 10, I hit enter, and I hit escape. I've now created a line that is 10 units long, it's horizontal, and it's just a single line. Let's try it again. Line, click start point, head to the right, take my hand off the mouse, type in 5, enter, escape. You may be asking why I'm hitting the escape key, and that's of course to make sure that I terminate the line command and it doesn't keep on drawing. One more time. Line button, click the start point, head to the right, type in a value, we'll say 8, hit enter, escape. I can even go vertical. Line button, click the start point, come down, type in 15, hit enter, and hit escape. Pretty easy and straightforward, isn't it? Why don't you try? Here in a second, pause the video and create, let's say 5 lines horizontal and 3 lines vertical, all each at different values, perhaps 1, 5, 10, 3, 6, whatever. Make them whole numbers, but give it a shot and see what happens. Alright, assuming you got that done. Let's talk about distance and relative size. Notice that if I zoom in real close to this line and then draw a line that is, say, 15, the line is sort of off the screen. I can tell this because when I move the cursor, I see that my cursor is tracking back from a far point. When you see that happen, don't worry about it. All you have to do is zoom out. And counter to that is, if I'm way out here and I draw a line that is 6 units, hit escape, and it's awful small, there's nothing wrong with the line. It just means I'm zoomed way far out. I'm just going to zoom in some to get back to it. So that's an important thing to remember. Line looks too small on your screen, just zoom in or zoom out. Nothing wrong with the line. It's just how far away you are from the object. Now, try some more. Let's try some lines that are 24 units long. And escape. And then maybe you should draw one that is 35. And escape. Try it. Pause the video and draw some more lines, 35s, 30s, big lines, big long lines, horizontal, vertical, doesn't matter. Just get some experience. Okay. Now that we've learned to draw lines to length, let's try drawing objects to true size. Let's say that we want to create a rectangle that is a 4x2. Here's how you do it. Hit your line button, click a start point, head to the right, type in 4, hit enter. Head straight down, type in 2, hit enter. Head straight across, type in 4, hit enter. Head back up, type in 2, hit enter, and escape. Zoom in a little bit. There it is. Let's draw another one. Let's go for a 8x10. Hit the line button, click a start point, head to the right, type in 8. Head down. Notice if I'm a little too far or too close to it, I'll just zoom out or pan it over a little bit. Now I'm going to type in 10, hit enter, pan up a little bit, zoom out a little bit, head to the left, type in 8, hit enter, and there's another little trick. If you just type in C is in Charlie, C, and enter, it automatically closes and terminates. All it basically does is goes back to its original point. So there's an 8 by 10 rectangle. Let's try a good old-fashioned 4 by 4. Click your line button, click a start point, head to the right, type in 4, hit enter, go down, type in 4, hit enter, go to the left, 4, enter, and close. Perhaps C and enter. There you go. So give it a try. Try 4 by 6, try an 8 by 10, try 4 by 4. Rectangles on your screen, give it a shot, see how you do. Alright, now just to add a little more fun to it, we're going to take our line command and we're going to go from corner to corner. Just going to click on a corner, from one point to the other, hit escape, and I'm making some cool X's inside the boxes, and therefore creating a point in which I can locate the midpoint of the overall box. Click, click, escape, click, click, escape. Good times. So give that a shot too. Maybe make some more boxes. You need to make a lot really to kind of get the hang of it. Of course, some of your homework coming up will take care of that too. We can even make triangles. Watch this. Let's say I want to make a triangle that is 5 across the bottom and 5 tall. Here's how you do it. Draw a line to the right, 5, enter, escape. I'll draw another line. I'll go straight up from the middle, 5, enter, escape. And I'll draw a line from this point to that point. And line command from this point to that point. And then all I have to do is delete out the line in the middle. And there it is. Nice triangle. So you can see you can create just about any shape right off the bat very quick and easy. And you can delete them just as quick as easy. While we're working though, we're going to be hitting that save button. Make sure it's saving. So I don't lose my work. Not that this work's very important. Don't want to lose it anyway. Up at the top, diskette. Okay, now let's talk about actually not just drawing a line, but let's draw a line at a specified angle and a specified length. Let's say I want to draw a line that is 6 units long and at 45 degrees from the horizontal. Well, here's how you do it. Click your line button, come out in space, click a point to start, and this time, instead of moving your mouse or anything, we just take our hand completely off the mouse and we go to the keyboard and we type in the following. At, which is the shift key and 2 on your keyboard, at 6 less than 45. Enter and escape. There you go. A line that is 6 units in length, 45 degrees from the horizontal, made quick and easy. Now, the fact that it's a positive 45 means that it is 45 degrees counterclockwise. This was the direction it's heading. Counterclockwise is that way. So that's why it went up. Let me try it again. This time I'll make a 10 unit line and I'll make it 30 degrees below the horizontal. Check this out. Line command, start point, take my hand off the mouse, shift 2 on my keyboard so it creates the at symbol. I'm holding down my shift with my thumb and hitting 2 on the keyboard. Creates the at symbol, type in the value 10, and then less than sign, that's the little alligator with the beak to the left, I guess, minus 30. Minus 30 meaning I want it to rotate 30 degrees clockwise. Enter. Escape. And there we go. 10 unit line. This is horizontal. This is 30 degrees here. One more time. Line command. Click a start point. And type in at. Let's say the value of this one's going to be 8. And we're going to make it at 135, less than 135 degrees positive. Therefore, it's going to rotate backwards from its original start point. Now you can find this in chapter 3 of your text about drawing lines at angles and the correct key, and I would suggest going there to kind of write these little notes down. But just remember, the equation of sorts is to hit the button, give it a start point, at length, whatever the length of the line you want to be, we'll say 12 this time, less than symbol, and the value you want to rotate. This time we'll say 289. Enter. Escape, and there it is from its start point. Almost came all the way back around. So, try that. Pause the video, draw you some lines to lengths. Very important stuff. Alright, now let's talk about creating geometry. Sometimes you're not just given these real simple rectangles to draw. Sometimes you're giving objects that are much more complex to draw. And it's going to be your job to figure out how to create these objects. Okay? For example, let's say I need to notch off this edge of this object. Well, a lot of times I'll use extra lines to create points that I can use to draw other lines. See that? Now, let's say I need to get rid of this line. Check this out. Here's a neat little tool. If you want to stretch an existing line back or further than is, after a line is created, simply click on the line. See these grips? The grips on the end allow you to stretch it. The grips in the middle allow it to be moved. So I want to stretch it, so I'm just going to come down to this blue grip, left click on it, go back to that intersection there, click, and release, and escape. We'll do the same thing here. Click on it, grab this grip by left clicking on it, clicking into a new placement point, and hitting escape. Allows me to create a notch. Let's do it just out here freestyle. Here's a line. Click on it once to make the grip show up. Click on the grip in question and relocate it by a third click. One more time. Here's a line. One click to select, one click to grip, one click to place. One more time. One click to select, one click to grip, one click to place. One click to select, one click to grip, one click to relocate. One click to select, one click to grip, and one click to place. Give it a shot. Draw some lines and try to manipulate them by clicking on them, grabbing a grip, and then relocating that grip. It's a very useful tool that you'll have well, you'll sleep nights better knowing it, given some of your homework assignments. Okay? Try it out. Pause the video, of course. Okay, now let's go even further. Now sometimes you'll be given problems where you might draw one line on top of the other. For example, here is one line. And let's say that I need to start another line that is 4 units from this point here. Watch this. I simply go hit the line command, left click on the start point, head to the right, take my hand off the mouse, type in 4, enter, and now I just head straight up. It has located the line 4 units from the left, from there, and straight up. Easy to do. Line command, click, head to the right, click to place. You can basically overlap other lines, and it doesn't matter. If you draw on top of a line, it's cool. There's no problem there. If I needed to, I could click to select it, or I could click to select this one if I needed to. Either case, easy to do, and makes for a lot of versatility in your drawings. So feel free to draw all over top of other objects. Also note that even though our units are set to decimal, I can still draw in fractional values. For example, I can click, head to the right, type in 5 divided by 16, hit enter, and it makes a 5/16 line. I could also click, head to the right, and type in 20 divided by 4, and hit enter, and it makes a 5-unit line. So you can type in fractions as you need to. It can't do complex fractions though. Okay, so if you've got a complex fraction with the whole number and a fraction, just figure out the value of the decimal and go on. I can go 32 divided by 4. Gives me an 8-unit line. So fractions are an option, especially considering one of your homework problems will be based off this. Okay, well that pretty much takes care of us for the line command, and we've just barely scratched the surface of some of the tools we're going to learn, but the best thing for you to do at this point is to start to draw. There's all kinds of drawings ahead of us, and you need to play with the system as much as possible to get in your head. So go ahead and start just drawing lines, links, boxes, any shape that you can think of. Try creating some notches because you need the practice. Can't say that enough. You need the practice because it's going to go fast. You're going to have to learn a lot, and you have to make this line command really sink in. So go through this video again if you have to. Draw a bunch of shapes, draw a bunch of lines, zoom in, zoom out, make sure you're hitting your save button as you work, and really get the hang of what we're doing because it's going to be critical. Alright? After that, you can probably do your assignment and be good to go. So good luck, and we'll see you later.